Amazon will do anything to make people like Rings of Power other than actually, I don't know, stay faithful to the source material, give fans what they want. I don't know, there's a good thought there, maybe. And now some of the actors are still attacking fans for not liking Rings of Power because apparently bullying the fans of Lord of the Rings, calling them racist or misogynist or whatever else, that's gonna make people like it, not actually writing a good, faithful adaptation. Apparently so. Let's go ahead and dive into this video that comes to us from Bounding Into Comics. It says, the Lord of the Rings of Power actors continue to attack Tolkien fans as racist. Don't like something, you're a bigot nowadays. If it comes from, Hollywood, only the most corrupt establishment or one of the most corrupt groups of people in the world. Okay. Multiple The Lord of the Rings of Power actors continued to attack fans of creator J.R.R. Tolkien and his works as a racist as their show was exposed to audiences as being a black hole of creativity. Ismael Cruz Cordova, who played Arondir, Sophia Namvit, who played the Princess Dissa, and Cynthia Adai Robinson, who played Queen Regent Muriel, spoke with Variety's Nick Vivarelli, where they were asked about a supposed racist backlash to the casting. Okay, Cruz responded saying, the fact that the attention was shifted toward the shows, toward that shows you what the power of the show like this is. Okay, so people aren't allowed to acknowledge when a character is unrecognizable or completely changed from what they were supposed to be. Okay. We're not allowed to do that, apparently. The fact that it hit a nerve and that our being in it created such a response just brings attention to the greatness of fantasy, the greatness of the Lord of the Rings, and why it's actually good that we are here. Man, this is gaslighting at its finest. What the actual heck? Like, dude, okay, what if, new Superman movie comes out? You know what? Scrap Henry Cavill. I'm going to be Superman now. How would people feel about that? Obviously, they would not like that. I am not Superman. I am not even a man. That is completely transforming the role of the character, and that would not be good, and rightfully so. People would have a right to not want to see me play the role of Superman, and instead want to see somebody like Henry Cavill play the role of Superman, because he actually looks the part and really delivers the part exceptionally well. It doesn't make anybody an hysterophobe for wanting the characters to be accurate. And likewise, remake the Color Purple movie and put me in one of the prominent roles, and I'm sure there would be backlash for that, and I would understand why. So let's not have a double standard here, okay? All right, let's continue. Did it become a bit too much? Absolutely. It's taken airtime from the depth of who we are as artists, but it just shows you where we are in the world and how much work we still have to do. I'm just very grateful that it's us who are able to recalibrate, break form, reshape, and make history. That's like, wow, you're really thinking very highly of yourself if you think you're, helping history, reshaping history by doing this. That's just not the case at all. If anything, they did this as some sort of armor, because the actual story is awful. The race swaps are the least of the issues of Rings of Power. So for the majority of us who have been criticizing the show, the most egregious thing that we've been complaining about is Galadriel's portrayal. So yeah, let's just be real with what's going on right now. Also, this pretending like people don't like diversity in movies or TV shows, blah, blah, blah. It's a stupid argument. It's just not very aware of what's going on in entertainment, because we've had diverse cast of characters in a variety of movies and TV shows and so on and so forth since way back. I mean, look back at like the 70s even, when you saw commercials, when you saw TV shows, when you saw movies, diversity in the character races and gender, male and female characters, all that stuff, like it's been happening and people haven't had an issue with it. People just want to see accuracy with the stories. Some stories are going to be predominantly or all white characters, just like there are some stories that are predominantly or all black characters or any other race, and that's fine. They're unique and different stories. All right, let's continue. Di Robinson then shared her thoughts. In order to not have such an impact, the pendulum has to swing. We are right in the middle of that process. Now, honestly, the pendulum has swung way too far, and people are trying to manufacture more racism, sexism, this, that, and the other, because for the most part, people have been getting along for a while now in that department. There's always going to be certain isolated incidents, but as a whole, to be racist or to be sexist is looked down on in society, in America especially. So, they can sit here and act like this is such a huge widespread problem, but if somebody is blatantly racist or sexist, they are not looked on in a good light. So to say racism and sexism is accepted in our society is quite frankly not true. That's not the case. But in this kind of situation where, division has to be harvested, they will make up reasons to do so. In this case being Hollywood, because, I could get into some more, I guess, conspiracy territory in terms of what I think goes on with the government, so on and so forth. And I definitely think that big industries like Hollywood and the gaming industry as well are all a part of that. And that's why we do see a lot of said movements and corrupt movements seep into our entertainment, because, dude, it's those in control that want to brainwash us and want to keep us weak, want to keep us fighting. And this is one way that they do it, is they're manufacturing division and creating it where it otherwise would not be. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. We just want to normalize. What? You want to normalize that people who aren't white exist? We know this, and we're fine with it, and we're happy about it. All right, we have to discuss it, because we are now in a space in society where we need to now and again acknowledge exactly what is happening, blah, blah, blah. That level of distraction or aggression that was put toward us, it's been a painful journey to get there, but it has elevated us. It has put us in a position where there will be a plaque one day. When the pendulum has swung to where it needs to be, we will have badges upon the people who fought the great fight in order to get to a point where there isn't such an eruption based solely on that when a casting announcement comes. This is some really high level self-righteousness going on here. We will have badges and plaques of our heroism, because Rings of Power race swapped some roles. Oh my goodness, what even is this? Di Robinson then asserted, while it's been a challenge, it has been a phenomenal moment to be a part of. Doors are open and accessibility is available for absolutely everyone to feel safe within a franchise and a story of this scale. So are you saying that Black people who are fans of, the Lord of the Rings books, are you saying they can't feel safe? What even does that mean? You can't feel safe unless someone of your race is on the screen? Not to mention, when you talk about Americans, I mean, we're such a melting pot that the majority of us are mixed, at least to some degree. So you're never really gonna find someone on the screen that is like your exact genetic makeup or who looks exactly like you. Like, and in all honesty, I can look at a character on a screen, see someone like her or someone like him, and to me, that doesn't make it feel any less of, oh, okay, I don't feel, that doesn't make me feel any less safe that I'm not seeing somebody who looks more like me. We're all human. So when I see someone like her, or if I see someone with lighter skin like Angelina Jolie, it doesn't make any difference to me. One doesn't seem more human to me than the other. They are both just as much like me as the other. Neither are going to make me feel more safe. We are human beings, and we should be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. But this is where we're at, and the self-righteousness associated with it, and to act like, oh man, we're just gonna get plaques one day, we're gonna get medals and awards and badges because we fought this fight. And what they're doing is they're pushing segregation even more, and they're pushing racism even more. They're pushing it to the fact to where we can't all just see each other as human beings. We can't see each other as, hey, you know, brother and sister in a way, because nope, you're only allowed to feel like, you're only allowed to connect with people who look like you or have your same skin color or whatever. So I don't know, this is a lot, and it's just embarrassing that we're even at this point. And Amazon should be ashamed at the level of deflecting and gaslighting that they've been pushing in this whole thing. They knew out the gate that they went cheap and that they went terrible with the writers. They knew out the gate they were going for a message instead of actually accuracy to Tolkien's legacy and Tolkien's stories. And to me, this kind of stuff is just like a preemptive attack on the fans to be able to deflect the actual problem at hand, and to try to make this seem like it's a racist issue why the Rings of Power has failed, instead of the fact that it's just not good and it's not faithful to the source material. And of course, fans aren't going to like that. So if anything, doesn't that kind of make Amazon sort of racist to, in a way, try to make these actors that they put in these roles, try to make them fall on the sword for their incompetence in creating a good story and in creating characters that represent, Tolkien's legacy here and what Tolkien has written? So, I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. Anyway, there you have it for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.